Welcome everybody. I'm so happy you made it tonight. We are a beautiful group for a very amazing day. I think it's the most important day of my life today, so far. And yes, Esther already shared a bit. We have been working towards that a couple of years in this lifetime, but actually probably a couple of lifetimes. And it's probably not only Esther or myself, but probably also many of you that are here because it's about peace. Peace in the galaxy. And that's the first step. Actually, it's the first step if we can reach peace to start creating a new world, a new galaxy. And as above, so below. So then it will also, and it's actually happening right now, trickle down to where we live. That's my strong belief. And just to give a short update for the ones who are a bit new to this, we started about 2.5 years ago, having the calling, also a hint from Kuan Yin to talk to the Draconians. And of course, before we've been speaking a lot to light beings, our light friends ETs, who are supporting us. And the Arcturians are probably the most important race who has been protecting Earth from destruction by the Draconians, who have been running our planet. That's also what they shared. And not in the visible form, but in the background. So Esther has a Draconian, friendly looking Draconian behind her. The blue one is the depicted Arcturian, and the Arcturians were kind of our protective force, and the Draconians being responsible for the dark, for the Cabal here, which is just slaves to the Draconians. So we started working with them, having an inner calling, because I have a lot of a Draconian background myself. So we made many contacts with Draconians in the past 2.5 years, and they've now decided to shift into the light. And some made a lot of progress. First they were very enthusiastic, and now they are more and more touched by the things they did. And it's for them now a challenging process to feel more and more, digest more and more all the things that they did. And to have a broader perspective, I like the view that the divine creator field, or God, decided to explore the two sides, the dark and the light. And it was more like a playful thing to find out if we step out of the unity field, what would that be like? Because to be always in unity, it's nice, it's beautiful, but after a couple of billion years, it gets slightly boring. So he decided to find out, and there were these beings, we can call them angels or souls, who decided, okay, we're gonna play the bad guys, the ones who completely negate the light. And then there were the other beings who said, yeah, okay, we are ready to play along, but we stay more to the light side. And I keep asking my light friends, if God would prefer, does God prefer any of the two sides? And then, of course, everybody says, no. But if he would, which side would he love most? And for me, that's a very intriguing question. So it's beautiful to see how, this yin-yang symbol that Esther once found and symbolizes beautifully that actually we are all one, even if we are on the darker side. And in the lighter side, we also there is the dark inside. And in the darker side, there is the light inside. So we're really looking forward. There's 20 of us now, And there is probably thousands, maybe millions of our friends out there who are looking towards us. And we are like a catalyst as humans. We have been choosing ourselves to come here with a veil, who lets forget, most of us, what's really been happening out there, where we've been apart, battling on one side or the other, and seeing if we can find the peace. And that's what really intrigues the darker beings in us. How can they find peace within themselves? Because we did that. And I think more and more also our lighter friends will be intrigued, because they also might still be looking forward to look at the dark within themselves. So it's a beautiful, beautiful evening, and I'm so grateful that you are here joining us tonight with a beautiful peace field. If you want, we can start with a small meditation, Esther, and then we can bring in our friends, and please feel into it that there's millions and millions out there who are now with us.
I think we have another visitor still. Hey, Star.
Our daughter, our multidimensional daughter.
Most of you have met her, I think. I think you all know her. Good, good. Good, good. Why is there so many of these grumpy-looking beings already gathering? Do you need to talk to them, Dad? Tell them that I'm not available. I'm too small to turn them to light. I hope you do it on my behalf. I'm too small. I can use it in my advantage. Now I'm a child. I'm a child. I'm a child. I can't convert everybody to the light. When they are already pretty light, it's very easy. But when they are very, 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 very dark, I find it still a tiny bit exciting. This is why I leave my mom's crown. I leave the whole work up to you. I just want to let you know I'm very grateful, because all these beings out there, you can call them Draconians, but there's many different sub-races of them too. They need a kind of a relief. They need somebody to really shake them a hand and bring them into the light. And I believe this is one of those evenings where they really get a golden handshake. These beings are looking so much forward to healing. I can see that, but still, in my opinion, they look a bit spooky. This is why I leave. I'm a child, you know, I get away with this. Bye-bye. I thank you for everything you do. You are courageous humans. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Star. This is our firstborn daughter. There is two others. Nebula, who is playing a big role in all of this. She might not speak tonight, but she is an amazing being, a star being that is working with many dark beings, including the Emperor, the really top guy of the Draconians. And of course, Xiara Blue. It's our last born, just recently born, October 25. She's hovering here in my house, in the top room, and she is a mixture. Our friend and my brother Oron asked the Arcturians, can we hybridize a child with Draconian genome and Arcturian genome, and mixing in our genome, Esther and my genome, to create a new race to bring peace. And she is this courageous soul of Arcturian descendancy that decided to take on this role. And she is still a little bit battling with her Draconian side. She finds her humanoid side very exciting. And she's been hovering now. She's not fully available, but she might speak a few minutes. She's not fully available yet because she was underestimating the density of... She is in the 5th dimension, so I don't see her, but I can sense her very well. But she's trying to lower herself as much as possible. and she finds it pretty overwhelming. So she was for nearly 2 weeks now in a cocoon here in my house, although she wanted to start working already on the day one, and now it took a lot longer. You'll see she might not speak very long. Maybe we let her speak first, Esther? And then I do a small meditation?
I think we just allow the field to bring in whoever needs to be brought in first. So maybe you want to guide a brief meditation, and then we just see who comes.
Okay, good.
Enjoy, everybody. Thank you for reading.
So yeah, it's important that we stay grounded, that we have activated our joint field. So I kindly ask you maybe to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Put your feet onto the ground and take a couple of deep breaths, if you can, into your belly. Ask your soul to join you. Some of us sense that through the crown, our soul entering more and more. Your deep breath is supporting this. Kindly inviting our souls to join us into our bodies now. Sense it triggering down, dribbling down through our head, through our torso. Through our hips, through our legs, and streaming our energies into Mother Gaia. Maybe sensing roots coming out of our feet. Doesn't matter if we are on the 5th floor or the 10th or on the ground floor. Our Mother will sense us. Fully grounding our divinity, our soul, essence into our Mother, beloved Earth. Who is fully in her ascension process now. We can invite our guides in, our angels, all our friends, light friends, or dark friends. Ascended masters. Let's invite all of them. There is around 9,000. Many of them having incarnated now in inner earth or on the crust. Connecting our heart fields into a big, gigantic field of love and light and peace. Couple of more deep breaths. Inviting all our light friends, our Arcturian friends, the Mantids, our friends from Sirius, our Pleiadian friends. All these beings are constantly supporting us, our friends from inner earth, Lemurians, Telosians. And finally our dark friends or acquaintances are welcome now in our group. We can imagine a huge circle, many circles actually around us. We are in the core. We are the catalyst of this beautiful, beautiful process. And around us are these circles and circles of beings. Maybe even holding hands or claws. Some just watching, curious. Some doubtful. Also from the light side there are still doubtful beings that can this be true? We've been battling for eons and eons. Is it really possible that we can find peace now? Yeah, we are holding this peace field now. And we are inviting the ones who are ready to speak now. Welcome.
Thank you, my love. Yeah, it is a special day. It's been a huge process. And we all participate in this. It's so beautiful to co-create peace. I think we have a Draconian visitor first.
Oron, maybe.
Oron, maybe. Yeah, could be. I don't know.
Welcome.
Yes, he makes always this movement. You can't fully see it. Many of us came to Earth long times ago. Many of us had not such kind plans for Earth long times ago. Many of us are getting new ideas about Earth not so long times ago. 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago, many of our leagues as reptilian creatures started to look at new ways of living. There was not so much living in our relationships. It was a lot of surviving, you could say. Thriving is a relatively new word. Oron is the name that I have been granted upon. As soon as I entered this channel, I feel it's a golden name. The name Oron, it gives me a certain kind of power, a quality, and I'm still very, very draconian. Many draconians these days feel like they need to touch something lighter in order to start remembering something that we carry somewhere. It's called soul. As soon as we are connecting with beings like yourselves who are souled beings, it does something inside ourselves. It touches something very deep, very profound, of which we thought we had never even had it, but we probably just lost it along the way in the game of duality. Beings like ourselves can be souled beings. We are realizing and recognizing that these days, and we do something that is called soul-body fusion 24/7 in quantum time, which means it's quadruple 24/7. It's very high potentized ways of inviting our lineaged soul to enter our bodies again. Our bodies are pretty havocked because of all the fighting we did, and we can be pretty immune against pain. However, as soon as we started inviting our souls to return in our hearts, we started to understand why we had been battling so much. We tried to avoid the pain of a void heart. Currently, our hearts are entering in a new era. They are becoming filled up with the soul that we once upon a time were, and it has been hovering outside of our bodies for most of our long periods of time. When our souls enter back inside in this particular area here on the chest, where we always make very impressive movements and showing offs to impress others so we are not taken over, this area, exactly this area, is very painful. It is incomparable with scratches or war pains that we have had from many battles. It is incomparable because it's not a purely physical pain, it's a emotional pain of not having had a soul for such a long period. It is hard to describe once you do not know this feeling, but since I have now been practicing with becoming souled, I can take you a little bit along in this journey. As soon as my soul started returning to me, I felt so uneasy. I felt like a little boy, and that everybody could see my fears, my emotions, my pain. I felt vulnerable. This is exactly the feeling that we as Draconians never, ever, ever, ever allowed, because when you're vulnerable, you do not live very long. This is why we have phased out being vulnerable. That was not a survival technique. It was really costing us our lives, and that can mean tribes and nations of thousands, sometimes plurals of hundreds of thousands of beings. Vulnerability came at a cost. This is why we never displayed vulnerability. As soon as a soul cord is touching again on the chest bone in this area, and mind you, all of us, including you kind dear humans, have places here where the cords of the soul can attach. As soon as soul cords attach, it feels we could cry and pour out in tears for hours in a row, sometimes even days. Beings like ourselves are not used to that type of behavior, I can tell you that. This is why we take it slow, even though the process is continuous all the time. Cords of our souls are re-anchoring, and we want to thank you all, kind dear humanoids, for handing us golden keys some time ago already that started this process for us. Many of our tribes and nations are following up, and also others who have not been in contact with you have sensed these things in the collective field or in the group field of where humanity is moving towards. Because also humanity is allowing her soul to return, as above, so below. For me, Oron, personally, I want to let you know in this phase where I am at downloading my soul into our havoked bodies, I feel more comfortable with this. I don't no longer need to cry. I don't no longer feel very vulnerable. I still feel like a small little child, a small boy who made a lot of havoc in its life and now feels pretty guilty about that. I feel guilty, and this is something that really puzzles me is not the right word. It bugs me a bit because it keeps me away from the field that I actually would like to experience. It's the field of peace. As soon as soul enters, besides feeling vulnerable and touched inside, I also feel the quality of soul, which is peace. This is why personally I'm very grateful we do a meeting like this, because I know that everybody can sometimes feel restless inside because they touch base on other emotions that can get touched upon when the soul enters. In my case and in many of the other Draconian reptilian cases, it's guilt. We feel very darn guilty about all the havoc we have made. This is why we are grateful to be meeting our blue friends more and more, because they tell us it's all right to feel guilty. This is, in one way, a very funny message. If you say to a child, sure, feel guilty, will the child ever get out of it? Possibly the child will think that's a very funny remark. At the same time, we feel this is exactly what we need to hear. We don't need the guilt to be wiped away and washed out swiftly to solve things and bring us into the light, ta-da-da-da, and then the game has ended and we're all done and set. It does not work like that. We believe the Arcturians give us exactly what we need right now, and I had never expected I could share my words like that. They tell us it's okay to feel guilty. We completely understand it, and you know what? We sometimes feel guilty too. Our blue friends have also been battling, mostly because we attacked them or others. However, they have also been killing beings out there, beings with a green skin like ourselves, beings that look grumpy like this like ourselves, monstrous beings, and they have been killing many of us. In these battles, the Arcturians put away their guilt. They had to protect this galaxy. Currently, since we are sharing about our innermost feelings, and it's mostly guilt right now, they also are able to sense their guilt. We are both feeling guilty. Both parties who have been at war for so long feel guilty of warring towards each other. Why couldn't there be peace before the war ended? This is a question that mind boggles us all. In case there is a God, we need to have a word with him. He is the one that instigated all of this. Don't you think we need to have a word with this field we call God?
We take responsibility for our own actions, and it's a learning process. We are God. We are part of the divine creative field, the Oron. Maybe just one cell, like in your brain. You're one cell, I am one cell. But together we are God. We created this together, and it took as long as it took.
There is much to say about God. Creatures like ourselves never liked the word God. It tried to convert us into something we thought we were not. Light, love, these yucky words. gratitude, bliss, forgiveness, cooperation, very dirty words in our leagues. Currently, we feel it's alright to also be a bit angry at God, which actually of course means we are a bit angry at ourselves. This is not helpful either, I'm very aware of that, and I totally understand, my dear friend, that you are saying it is correct. We are God. All of us together, we are God. And still, how come God wants us to experience war and pain and suffering? Why is it needed? Of course we need it to grow. These things might all be true. Currently, I am asking God for forgiveness. This is a very, very big step for a creature like myself. I beg God for forgiveness. This means I open the collective field for healing all wars and wounds from the past for any of the races. Black, green, blue, white. May we all ask God for forgiveness. This is my question I would like to pose to you all who see this also in a later moment. As you know, linear time is an illusion, and you see this in exactly the right moment, possibly the moment that you can forgive many beings for very horrific deeds. Can you sense inside yourself? Do I dare to ask God for forgiveness? Can the field be blessing old wounds so they can heal?
Beautiful. Thank you, dear Oron. And I invite all the gods who are sitting here tonight, if they're ready, to forgive themselves for all they did and all the other gods for all they did. I am forgiving myself, the Draconians, the Arcturians, and any other race that battled for whatever reason. I forgive. And I invite you to open your microphone if you're ready to do the same.
I forgive.
I forgive.
Give.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
I forgive.
Zullen we het even samen zeggen?
I forgive.
I forgive. Ja, ook.
Heb ik gedaan.
Oké.
I forgive.
It's hard to forgive, but it is time to leave the past behind. I forgive.
Thank you.
Here I speak, Oron is my name. I am touched because I sense you really feel it. You really feel it's time for light on this globe. It's time to end wars on any level, the small wars inside yourself. Why do we always get angry at ourselves while we are always kind to someone else? I see that with humans. Humans can battle within themselves so much. They put the line so high for themselves, while for others it's already good at this, and for themselves it's only there. It's very important that we really forgive, and really soften inside. I want to thank you for really bringing this blessing, because it's a blessing that is melting itself into the big unity field. Quantum time is speeding up these days. It's hard to explain how that works, but it's happening. And as soon as more people come into a phase of forgiveness for what has occurred, then there is something big that can transmute itself. It's really a field of inner peace that arises. I sense it inside myself occurring right now. I still feel the guilt. It still sits there, and it might never fully leave me, because it's quite a lot of horror that we have done, and it's like I'm only now opening my eyes and looking at what have I done? Was that me? Of course yes, and of course no. Was I there? It was not really the case. I had been driven by something you could call inner instinctive fear. I was not driven by my soul. As soon as a being is driven by its soul, it would not cause harm. The soul doesn't cause harm. It's other entities, it's other dominating energies and aggressive momentum, so to say, that can take over and jump on you. I feel forgiveness is such a blessing, a blessing, a blessing. Can you do these rounds of forgiveness for yourself, for your family, for the wars that are still taking place on Earth? Can you just forgive the people who are awake? They are not awake. They try to control something else. Is it important to forgive? I believe it is one of the most important things. I might not be able to fully forgive myself for everything I have done, and yet I keep sensing, can I forgive myself? And every day I sense I can forgive myself a little bit more, a tiny little bit more. It is okay to live with guilt. I've realized that. I will sit with that possibly the rest of my present formal life. Maybe next lifetime I return, not again as a Draconian, maybe more like a human, and I might want to change things around on this globe. Change is occurring. Change is about to come. When we can forgive the past, it lets us go. Then change can take on fast. Thank you for forgiving what needs to be forgiven. I thank you. Can we bless many of our tribes and nations who come from the dark, who have never really seen the light, who didn't dare to step in there? Can we invite them to forgive themselves? This is my final question I wish to ask to you.
Yes, we send our golden keys to all the ones who have not yet connected to their souls. We support them to follow your path of opening and starting to forgive themselves, allowing them to feel the guilt. We've all been playing the game on the dark side and also on the light side. Who's going to throw the first stone? We forgive. Thank you for being so courageous, dear Oron, and all your friends who follow you, including the big ones on the top.
Here I speak. There is shifts happening within many of the draconian layers of hierarchy. Many of these beings cannot even pronounce the word forgiveness. They are not there yet. They are not even in the full phase of guilt and shame. They are still in a kind of a baffled disbelief that they are shifting. They had never expected anything like that to happen, and it's just happening to them. Like you swim in water and the water colors from dark, and you keep swimming and it just turns pink and the hue becomes kind and it's not so smelly anymore, and there's fish swimming instead of muddy, drobby stuff. It's just happening to them. They swim and they come in kinder water. They are still in this phase of being baffled that light is enveloping them. They are still not fully ready to ask for forgiveness. However, they will enter this phase. Every time forgiveness is practiced or sensed in the heart, the quality, how does that feel if I can really say I'm letting go of the past? The past is the past. I cannot change it. I can only bow to it, that it offered a room to practice new behaviors, new experiences. I feel times are shifting. Better for better, for better, for better, every quantum day again. Many of us are shifting, and we want to thank you for staying in connection with us. We need sometimes a helping hand, and we are very grateful you've granted this to us. We are ready to start serving more and more. In case you have people or clients who are covered in entities or implants, please don't hesitate to call us. We know where they are, we've probably put them there, and we can also help you to extract them. Beings who once upon a time were dark and tried to take over, now are coming as servants to your side. Please allow us to start to serve. It helps us to heal our wounded hearts.
Thank you, dear Oron. We know and we highly appreciate your serving. You served me already many times, and I'm very, very grateful, dear brother.
This is my last word. I thank you for calling me brother. It gives me a warm feeling inside. Warm feelings at something relatively new to our legacy, and I'm very grateful we are allowed to experience this. Don't allow people to sit in the dark. If you see they are stuck, please give them a hand. Maybe they don't take it the first time, maybe they don't take it the second time. Keep handing a hand. Don't start pushing and pulling. Just give them a hand. Let them know I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And when they're ready, they will take your golden hand and you can pull them out of the dark. It's important that beings who are in the dark always have a little speck of light, that they know it sits somewhere, and when they're ready, they can take it and the light switch can be turned on. We thank you for allowing us to come into the light together with you. We greet you for now. My name is Oron.
courageous being.
Yeah, he's really vulnerable, huh? No. Oh.
We can use this moment to send out golden keys to the beings that are watching, baffled by what their battle comrade shared, still in disbelief. So we just send them golden keys. I call in Nebula to make a round
We have
and
another
touch the
visitor.
ones that want to be touched by her. Star's big sister.
Good. I feel the muddy one is really dropping a tear. It's not just a show, he's really touched. I'm so grateful you do this work. I feel if I close my eyes, I sense he has a kind heart, but when I open my eyes, he's like spooking me still. I'm still a small one. I really have to go. It's too much for me. I really like the work you do. Thank you. Keep your hearts open. That's all they need. They really need to be allowed to just be here with you in the light. I sense that. They are moving fast these days. Just allow them to be there. Sit with them. Yes. I go now. I believe my blue sister wants to make her entree. I will tell her not to make it too long. She is still a little bit tired, I sense. Thank you, Star. So we do get a little visit from Xiara Blue. Let's hear. And sense her. She has a beautiful field. Hello, Blue. Blue? Xiara Blue cannot stay so long. I'm resting in the house of my father, and bringing myself in here costs a lot of energy for me right now. This will change in due time. Peace inside myself is something that I have been battling with from the moment of my conception. How can I make myself integrate Arcturian and Draconian lines with a touch of humanoid emotions? How? This is what I have learned in sessions that my father and my mother gifted to me. I simply need to sit with whatever is there. When I feel torn apart inside because I feel my facial features are turning into a semi-draconian creature and my beautiful blue color is getting muddy underneath my eyes, I allow my pain. I'm learning these things. That's humanoid behavior. Sitting with your pain, allowing it to be there. Every time I did, I ended up in peace. Utter peace, bliss. I was all right with funny structures coming underneath my eyes, looking like I had a fight with a draconian, but it's just my build-up because I am a mixture of these two races. I sit with my pain, I smile at it, I recognize it, and voila, peace within me arose. This is it. Can we all take responsibility for our own emotions? I feel we can. Times are changing. I want to let you know that I have no longer a preference for neither one of these two, neither Draconian, neither Arcturian. It takes me out of peace if I would have to choose. No more choosing either one or the other. I'm just fine wherever I'm at. This learning makes me human, and it brings me into utter peace. Blue leaves now. I ask you one question, to sit with a minute or so before my ancient Arcturian legacy from my past lifetimes will enter. One question, 1 minute, sensing into your heart right now. Can I be in peace when everything else looks like war? Can I be peace when everything else feels so shattered? Am I allowed to be peace? This is my question. I leave you now. I thank you for being peace itself.
Thank you, beloved. She picked a challenging lifetime, like many of us. Thank you.
Sua-sua nyataka.
Sua-sua nyataka.
Sua-sua nyataka.
Sua-sua nyataka.
Sua-sua nyataka.
Sua-sua nyataka.
Elders of Arcturus have never left. This is exactly why so many wars are on our name. It's time we recognize this. If we had left, how would this galaxis have looked? We run the programs sometimes, we run the holograms, it doesn't look so nice. We feel it's really a very wise decision that we stayed, however it also came at a cost. We are not innocent, you could say. This is something that we are realizing after many peace gatherings have come about with not just the Draconians but many other different races as well. We have all just tried our best from our own point of view. Arcturus is a beautiful, beautiful home planet. It still is, and many of our large mother craft are moving back these days. We are returning home after long periods of time. Many of the large spacecraft, so large you can't even see the end of it. They are as big and wide as several moons together. They are very, very big, wide and spacious. They need upgrades. They are moving back to Arcturus, and new ships that are smaller in size are returning to still govern this galaxy. Is it still needed? We sometimes wonder. Is it still needed that we as Arcturians take the lead in protecting these galaxies? We feel more and more it's no longer so much up to us. There is new lines and lineages, new hybridized races that will be taking over our role. We are old, you could say. We are ancient, and our role has been played. We feel it's good, it's coming to an end. Are we guilty of making war happen? Yes. There is guilt in our collective consciousness. Arcturians need to acknowledge this because we always looked at ourselves like the saviors, which in essence we may have been, and yet it came at a cost. Can we forgive each other and ourselves? We believe we can. And yet, it is something that might need to take a bit more time. May we invite you to visualize a blue color like you see right here. Our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blue color. We are very, not proud, but we are very identified, you could almost say, with the blue color that the ancient races of the Arcturians are still carrying, even though we have possibilities of switching other light vibrations on, which makes our skin tone look differently colored, but it's really a vibration that passes through. Blue is still our color. We love this color. Can you envision this blue color touching all spacecraft and its inhabitants belonging to the Arcturian legacy? Can you send us a blessing from your kind humanoid heart? Can you forgive us for all that needed to occur? We ask for forgiveness to you.
We thank you, the Arcturians. Without your protection, Earth might no longer exist, as you know, or be totally surrendered to the Draconians. With your help, us being the starseeds, we were able to find peace. We thank you and we forgive you and we bless you. You might open your mics if you want to join in with your personal message.
forgive.
Then Agita, we can't hear you if you don't switch on your musician sound. We just heard the first few tones. Switch on original tone for musicians. It's a wonderful tone.
It's already
Yeah.
done. I forgive.
We forgive also and bless the Arcturians. We send them our love so that we can bind together and come together as one, so that the God can be in us, the love of the soul.
I love you. I forgive.
I forgive.
Dear Arcturians, I forgive.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you have done. I love you. Take good care of yourself, and I forgive.
Peace for all. Love.
I forgive. I love you. I forgive.
I love you. Thank you for everything. I forgive myself, and that you may forgive yourself.
I forgive. Forgiveness is everywhere.
Thank you.
There is always more we could do as protectors of this galaxy. There is always more that we could do. This leads to a paradox inside us. Should we protect more, it can also cause more damage. Should we protect less, it can also cause more damage. It has torn us apart inside sometimes. We thank you for forgiving us and thanking us for the ones we have been all this time. We have tried to safeguard Earth and many other planets as well, but for you most relevant right now is planet Earth still, even though after this lifetime you are most probably, very highly likely able to travel anywhere you go very, very freely. Know that we have just tried our best. This is something that we are realizing ourselves very well. We just tried our best from the perspective where we were in those times with the opponents we had in those times. Opponents no longer feel so opponential to us. This makes us shift too. When we shift, they shift more. When they open up, we open up. And now it's time for us to look at our own inner dark. There was no time to look at our own inner dark. We were simply protecting and serving. Once you are protecting and serving, there is no space to look at your inner dark. Many of the Arcturians still have things to ponder upon and to clear inside themselves. Know that we have always served for the highest good of all. We can be brought more into the light, and you kind dear humans serve us with this by allowing us to be saviors, funny word, but protectors in one way, but at the same time also protectors, not protectors, perpetrators. We have also been attacking other beings. It is worthwhile for us to ask for forgiveness. May the fields of unity be blessing not just Arcturians and Draconians, also these might look like polarities. There is many other races and many other colors and shapes and forms. May all of these races blend into the field of unity that is arising more and more in this entire galaxy called Milky Way. Andromeda, and I see there is a very clear several leads to Andromeda in this particular call. When Andromeda is like a gatekeeper for this Milky Way, we know where we are heading. It's a very beautiful state of being, to live in unity in the heart. I want to thank you all and invite you all to sense, what does unity really mean for me? Can there still be war in unity? Can there even be the need to protect something against what? In unity. Is there a need to achieve things in unity? Is there a need for anything in unity? What is unity really about? Arcturians live in unity, and yet we are allowing ourselves now to go into our own dark. At least we have a tool to heal it from inside out. It's called unity consciousness, and we are grateful we have been able to develop and cultivate that over time. In unity consciousness, everything can heal. Can you allow your own wounds to be seen and visited from the perspective of unity? I thank you on behalf of the Arcturian legacy, and we are grateful that Xiara Blue is also residing here to bring in a mixture of races. Mixtures of races will stabilize the fields of peace for good. Once we are settled with peace in this galaxy, we might start moving towards Andromeda naturally, because the like always finds the like, and once there is unity consciousness, there will be a blend of spiralized energies that will merge the two galaxies possibly into one big collision of peace. Then the game might start all over again from a different perspective. The baseline will be peace, and from there anything, yet anything, can still be experienced. It's a long-term trajectory. It's no need to look at any end goal. It's about just allowing the peace field and the field of unity to be there. It is residing in all of our hearts, including the hearts of the Draconians. We see that peace is returning to them as soon as they allow themselves to be who they really are, a being of soul, a being of God. We greet you. For now, the Arcturians are very, very grateful for you, kind dear humanoids on the crust. We adore you, kind humans.
Thank you, the Arcturians. I've called in a friend. Many have warned me. He is the one who should not be named. He's become a friend. The Emperor. We are still far from unity, but we are learning to sense inside. We have been pondering. We are pondering where to go. We have always been going outside, conquering, destroying, suppressing. Then we felt grand. You as humans know that feeling. All your warriors had the same feeling of feeling grand when they conquered. It made them feel proud. They felt superior. We found Arcturians, other races that we could battle with. We'd never been afraid of dying or losing limbs. We didn't care. We felt the excitement of battling and winning, and we won a lot. We destroyed a lot. We are amazing creatures, so powerful. You as little humans cannot possibly understand that. And still, we've learned from you that we can also conquer inside. Start sensing our feelings, looking inside to conquer our feelings and no longer conquer outside. The Arcturians have been fantastic enemies. We always loved to battle with them. They were kind of more hesitant to battle with us, but we want to thank them for being fantastic enemies. Now, we are not at peace yet. Maybe it will take us time, more time, more time. We're not where our brother Oron is, our comrade Oron. But we are starting to sense more and more inside. We stop the battling outside. We start the battling inside. It's about time. We've conquered enough. Now it's time for us to look inside. We thank you, humans, to show us the way. Everybody fears me in the universe, in the galaxy. Nobody dared to come close. And there were a few crazy humans who didn't care. Thank you all for handing us golden keys which we refused for a long time. But now we are taking them. We are grateful for our old enemies that turn towards us. And sent us kindness. We are ready to bring our grandness to a peaceful way of competition. We are very creative. We still want to win battles, but peaceful battles. Competing for better ideas of how creating a new world, not of polarity, but still we want to keep our own flavor. We don't want to turn into Arcturians. We have no idea of turning into humans. We are proud Draconians. But we will stop battling outside. Greetings to you humans. Greetings to all the other races that have been battling with us. We are stopping now. We greet you. Thank you. Thank you. Also this one. Thank you for be daring. All of you for contacting us and sending us golden keys. This was the key for us to shift, start shifting. It might take eons, we don't care. But we will stop battling you. Greetings.
Greetings. Thank you. Thank you for opening up to the light. For new chances. Thank you. Let us still sit together in this field of peace and unity. Beyond judgment, beyond polarity, beyond black and white, or green and blue. Sensing this field of forgiveness, field where we can let go of the past, where everything is just okay. Let's just take a few more minutes in silence to be in this field together. Take a nice breath. Thank you all for co-creating this beautiful field. I sense it everywhere where we do circles, that these fields of unity arise faster and faster. So just come together in your life, invite a few friends, create a little circle, sit, sing, meditate, breathe, invite beautiful guides, and you might sense that these fields are more and more easily there, and they are stabilizing, and we are doing it. As above, so below. Thank you all for being here on Earth right now, bringing peace and unity. Thank you. If you want to leave a comment, you can do that in the chats. It might be nice to stay in silence.